When a man is going to get into a relationship with a single mother, there are a few things that a man needs to know. There are some things that needs to be established. You have to set the grounds for that relationship you're about to create. Don't be too hooked up on your desires to the point where you overlook the important things, right? So some of the questions that we look into is how many children she has and the different ages. It is important because sometimes women lie about these things. I don't understand why you would lie about the amount of children you have. Even if a certain child is not in your life or whatever the reason is, don't lie about it. How would you even feel knowing that you have a son or a daughter out there, and because that person is in a whole other part of the earth, it's like you're denying that your own child. Don't do that because you think this man is so fine, and if he hears that you have other child or whatever the case is, don't do that. Now, if there are more than one, you want to know, are they by different fathers or by the same father? Are they biologically and psychologically healthy? Because that's one thing. When you're about to start a family, when you're about to start a union, you will need to know these things up front, because sometimes a child might come with a certain sickness and you don't have the patience to put up with that. And the thing is, when you're really creating a family structure, you want to love the child just with the same mirrored love you have for the mother. So you're gonna know your patience level as a man to know, I'm in love with this woman, but the child is autistic, and I don't think I'm in a position to deal with that. I don't think I have the mental patience and so forth to deal with that. So I'm gonna step back for that reason, so you don't cross that line. So it's important to know these different aspects, or if there's some other physical illness that the child might have. As well as, you want to ask these things to the mother as well, because sometimes certain things happen, with childbirth and so forth. So they might have other complications. You want to know if they're still able to have more children, if you're a man who is looking for more children. Because sometimes these women, they go through real horrible stories, horrible experiences, that they have to make a choice where it comes on to, getting pregnant, right? So you want to know those things for sure. Now, the next question is, what are your relationships like with these different fathers? Sometimes some fathers can be toxic, abusive, and they still have that mindset, still seeking control over that woman and so forth. So you want to know how healthy is her relationship with the fathers of her children. The next thing is, how does he communicate with the child? Does the child have a phone? Is the child at a stage or age that he or she can communicate with the father? Or does he have to call her phone every time he needs to talk? And are there boundaries set on the time that he's allowed to call her phone? Like you say, okay, between 9 a.m. and say 6 p.m. Or does he call whenever time he wants, hours in the night and so forth? Is there a boundary that you set with how this man have access to you? Now, how is the picking up and dropping off arrangement with the father of the child? Does he pick up the child at your house? Is he privileged to come into your house whenever it's time to pick up or drop off the child? Or if the situation is very toxic or whatever, or if it was an abusive person, is there a middle person in between you two that delivers the child to him and he drops the child too, and then you collect the child? What is the actual arrangement? Is he monitoring you? Does he feel like he's yet in a relationship with you? Because sometimes this is the thing too with some women. A relationship might end. They know how the man feels about them. They know the man hasn't let go. And because they have ended the relationship on their part, they'll try to act as if how the man feels doesn't matter. And that's how a lot of men lose their lives, because of that reason. They take what she's saying rather than trying to prove her answers by experience or by reality. Even when you go through these questions, you're not going to rely on the answers she's giving you. You're just taking those so you can hold her accountable to something. And then you're going to use the experience or the reality to confirm that her words are true. So you have to always prove a person first. This is why it's not quick to jump into the sex first, because you're already creating a lot of confusion. Now the question is, does the father of your child still feel as if there's an opportunity for him? You know, sometimes the way you communicate with these people, it gives them that idea, or you can see that they're already deluded and you're making that delusion stronger, that there might be an opportunity, because you never draw a certain line when you see the person is crossing a boundary. You don't stop them in their tracks. So a man needs to know these things, because he needs to think about his safety when he's getting into certain situations. And these things go also for the women, because there are some men that have all these access to the mother of their child, because sometimes the woman don't know how to set boundaries and the man don't care about it. When you become a man of wisdom and awareness, you start to make different choices. You're not ruled by desires, so you want to establish certain bounds before you cross the line with a woman. So as a man, it is your responsibility to set those grounds on which you walk. Shalom.